the EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com.
We have some guests in here today,
Yes,
and it should be kind of a fun show because I like it any time that we do a show and we have a bar full of people and there's beers on the bar. You know, the moment I see drinks, you got a wine, these two guys got a pint in front of them. I'm sitting here, I got a little Johnny Walker Black Label sitting on the rocks in my little glass, and we're going to have a nice show. I have Terry Goggin and Mike Kerwin. They are from the Most Holy Redeemer Men's Club, and also they are two of the three that are the brain trust behind what is maybe the biggest event of the fall in Evergreen Park, which is the Most Holy Redeemer BBQ Bash. How are you guys?
Good, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about the bash, of course. Terry was like, I was telling him, I'm like, oh, I'm starting this podcast, I'm doing this thing, and I would love to have you on, and we'll talk about the ribs. And the show's still up there if anybody wants to go back and listen to it. That's the great thing about this. And we were hurrying up, and I was like, I just need enough shows because I was trying to get on Spotify, Hannah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get on Spotify without 5 shows. And I was like, I need to do quick 5 shows so that we can launch and we're on all these podcast servers. So Terry came over and did a whole show with me that turned into 30 minutes of absolute trash talk before the
it's radio gold. Fuck Howard Stern. This was absolute genius radio.
I mean, it was great stuff. Yeah. I mean, it started off with us trying to just kind of have a normal conversation, and it turned into my ribs are better than yours and stick it. That was basically how it was going.
I think if I recall, and I'd have to go back and listen, but I believe you started the trash talk.
I don't remember.
And I ended it at the bash with the higher finish.
You did finish higher than me. You did. You finished higher than me. I mean, I'm not Mike. I'm not Mike who's wearing his championship hat from not last year, but 2 years ago. He's still walking around with his, when they win a championship of this, the cooker gets a red cowboy hat.
I was going to ask what the hat was about. Okay.
Well, he's a big fan of that little Nas song, Old Town Road. That's what it is.
This would be the ultimate traveling trophy.
Okay.
So every year the cookers that win actually get this lovely.
So it's that hat. It's like the Stanley Cup. It just goes from.
It is.
Okay.
Well, we get everyone their own.
Okay,
More
they
like
get their
our
own.
version of the Super Bowl ring.
Got it.
Except you wear it on your head.
And it stands out.
It's bright red and it kind of stands out.
You know, it's a 10-gallon felt hat that's made by Stratton Hats.
Yeah.
They do a great job. They do most of the police forces around the nation. So this is just one of the things that they do, and they're parishioners, and they're happy to help out.
You know what I think is great about it, though, and this is funny, most of the guys who are cooks have ginormous noggins. Like, I have a giant head. Terry's head is a good size. Mike's got a good size head. The guy who won last year, his name's Alex Garcia. He was the champion last year. He's one of the two of them. He walks around the hat. I mean, they obviously, these aren't tiny hats.
No,
these are big
custom
because
made.
we have ginormous heads.
So this is
do they measure your head when they did it?
Yeah. No,
oh,
it's
really?
7 5/8.
Oh, wow. Okay. Part of this event that is for all the people. And then there is the part of this event before it even starts, which is like this all day, every tent around the big giant tent that's out there that protects people from the weather. So rain or shine, it's going to be a good time. Okay. There is this thing where all of the cooks are basically there all day long, slow cooking the ribs. And there's a contest during it. There's music playing during it. There's guys with big giant TV screens watching college football games during it. Take me through what it's like. I mean, I know what it's like, but take the listener through what it's like right now when this day starts, what actually is happening there at the grounds.
Well, the day for us starts around 8 o'clock. We start setting up all the tables in the cooking positions. And then somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock, the teams start rolling in with their grills, setting up their pits and stuff and getting ready, getting their coals going and their meat on. But then what you're talking about that's really fun is in the middle of the day, we have a optional participation nibblers competition where any member of any cook team with a $20 entry can come in and submit like an appetizer-sized nibbler or food item.
It's supposed to be like a snack,
it's
right?
Like, yeah.
And it started off as a snack originally, right?
It's like when one or two bite thing.
Yeah, bite size. Some of these are as big as a double cheeseburger when guys make them. And what's great about it is, and not to interrupt you, but I mean, like, what's great about it is that when you guys first started this thing and you came up with the nibbler thing, honestly, how many guys were in the first nibbler competition?
12.
Like 12 guys. Okay. Now you're going to have like 40 probably on Saturday because I know it was pretty close to that last year.
Now we have guys, like most of our cook teams are 2 and 4 guy teams.
And they all do
And
one.
several of them on a team will compete.
Right.
They'll each make their own.
And so the thing is, you pay the $20, Hannah, and you walk over there while your ribs are slow cooking, and you don't need to stand over. Like I always lie to my wife, like I'm smoking ribs today, and I stand out there outside while the kids are screaming, while things need to be done, while she's working. I just pretend like I need to be observing these ribs, but really in the end, I don't need to look at these ribs. I check them every half hour, and that's really all I have to do with them. But everybody walks away from their ribs and eats like crazy for like 45 minutes, I would say, right, guys?
Absolutely.
And it's and half of it's got jalapeno in it somehow. Like that's the key to the
bacon
nibbler.
wrapped jalapenos with different kinds of fillings have been a popular submission. Yeah, there's usually 9 or 10 of those.
Yeah, but they've never won.
They've never won, but there's usually 9 or 10.
No, they don't win. But yeah, you're right about that. And what's crazy about it as well is that the last 2 years, I've barely eaten any ribs because as a cook, I'm so busy cooking the ribs, getting them out. And then I've eaten so many nibblers, I'm full. Like, I'm not even hungry by the time the ribs come out. Have you experienced that? I mean, I know that you, of course, as a master chef who made it into the finals last year, and I did not. Maybe you do. Maybe it's different for you. I don't know.
But, I oftentimes forget to eat it all, because not because I've had so much in the rib and the nibblers or throughout the day. It's just
you don't
doing
stand
so much.
still the whole time.
I usually get my carbs from Anheuser-Busch during the day.
It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street. Remember all through August when we were telling you, make sure you get your vehicle sticker? It's September now. Time's running out. September 15th. Get it done. Seriously. You're getting an email or a notice or something about this thing like every other day. Don't be one of those people standing in line like the day before you have to have it in your window. Meanwhile, the annual Hot Rod and Classic Car Show is happening again Friday, September the 27th, Yukich Field, 89th and Kedzie. Check-in beginning at 3, judging starts at 6 p.m. Profits from this year's show benefiting Almost Home, which is a local organization serving the homeless, single parents, and victims of domestic abuse. And the band Rocks Off going to be back again this year to perform live. The Evergreen Park Recreation Department Candlelight Theater is presenting Ordinary People, 2 weekends of performances over at the Senior Center, 9547 South Holman. It all begins Friday, September 27th, and like I said, 2 weekends of performances. Tickets on sale now at the Community Center. And the First United Methodist Church Pie Sale is going on now with Pickup Day on Saturday, the 14th of September, starting at 9 a.m. Apple, blueberry, cherry, strawberry, rhubarb, pecan, you name it, they make it into a pie. Do your pre-order now, 708-422-8451. That's your EP podcast, Word on the Street, found everywhere podcasts can be found and always at theeppodcast.com. The Evergreen Park Public Library is celebrating their 75th anniversary with a bash at 115 Bourbon Street. Mark your calendars now, Saturday, October the 12th. Come together and join them with a live performance by American English, the Beatles tribute band.
Come together right now over me.
Your $50 admission ticket gets you beer, wine, food, and a live performance by American English. And while supplies last, get the $75 VIP admission that adds on a 30-minute meet and greet with the band backstage before the show and guaranteed seating. Remember to stop by the EP library, check out the drawing baskets that they have on display, and enter to win. American English, 115 Bourbon Street. Get those tickets now at evergreenparklibrary.org.
But here's the thing about Mike, Chris. He is sitting here today. We're in the presence of greatness. He is the only Triple Crown champion in BBQ Bash history. He won in the first year. He and his partner won the inaugural Beanbag Tournament.
Okay.
He has since then won a Nibblers competition.
And he's won the
as
whole
you
thing.
pointed out 2 years ago, he was grand champion of the rib competition.
In reality,
So-
he was the guy. I
And
mean, he
now-
was the guy that beat me.
And I still won't tell you who judge number 6 was.
Oh my God, judge number 6. Hannah, we've talked about judge number 6 before.
Yeah.
It was there were all these votes. They released the
will
voting.
never forget.
For anybody who's
He
never
will
heard this
never
before. Okay, so
forget.
2 years ago, for anybody who hasn't heard this before on this podcast, but you could probably find it on like 6 shows because I keep bringing it up. They had the finals, and they had like 10 judges, right, in the finals. So they have the judges in the finals, and it's 1 out of 20, and I've got 20, 20, 19, 19, 20, 18, 19, 19, 20. And then I get to the end and it's like 6. Like the Russian judge. Like whenever you had like when you watched like gymnastics in the 80s and the American girl would have like all 99, 99, 99, 4, and it was like the angry Russian judge sitting there because they hated America. That's what happened to me.
It's the best $5 I ever spent.
He will never forget it.
Yeah.
Never.
Not only that, I mean, none of his kids are 6. They all went from 5 to 7 on consecutive birthdays. You know, we're not doing 6.
We don't celebrate 6
We don't celebrate
birthdays.
6 in a Lanuti house.
No, we don't. We don't. I took all the candles that had a 6 in them, and I just
They're
threw
all
them out.
9s now. They're all 9s.
It's the mark of the beast.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You got
it
3 of
still
them.
stings today. This week on Meet the Neighbors, I'm at the Academy of Self-Defense. I'm actually right here on 95th Street. Jeff Waldrom's here, the owner. It's not completely new. Even the parts that aren't new look new.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming by, Chris. Yeah, we bought the building next door and did a full gut and remodel of actually both buildings. So it's got a full facelift and a lot more space and a new nice area.
You kick a lot of people in the head here with a lot more room.
Yep, double the amount now, so good stuff.
So now a lot of people will come here for different reasons. I know that you've talked about that they like coming here because they just want to, know how to defend themselves in a situation, and other people are learning how to do it because they like doing MMA. MMA continues to grow and become like a big thing. What do you think most people come here for?
I think the majority of people are looking for a fun way to work out and challenge themselves. And this provides both, like a workout, but a skill set that could be really valuable at the same time. And I think after high school, or if you're lucky enough to play college sports is over, there's not much out there like something like this to do and continue your athletic career and push yourself.
If a guy like me, who drinks too much beer and has beer gut and is 42 years old, says, I wanna get back some of that earlier part of my life where I didn't look like a complete slob. How long do you think before I start seeing like results? I mean, I would imagine this is pretty intense and I would start to feel it almost right away.
Yeah, we have a good fun class, so we disguise our hard work by having a good time, but people start learning fast or getting back what they used to have. So I think someone that sticks with it and be committed within 90 days, they're seeing good results, feeling good results, starting to get more natural with the movements and having a good time with it.
I would imagine you get a lot of people that are like, it's their after work thing where not only are they working out, but they're so aggravated with their boss they just want to punch something. And it looks like you got lots of things on the walls here for people to punch.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely a big one is stress relief for people at the end of their day, just trying to relieve some tension, have a good time, be around a positive environment and group of people. And definitely, my wife always says, just picture your husband's face on this pad, and the punches get a little stronger sometimes.
All right, so the other thing that's going on is this Saturday on the 7th, you guys have an event going on. It's your 50th anniversary. It's a grand reopening with the new facility, essentially. I mean, you have double the space. It's really pretty in here. You never think somebody would sit there and say, oh, it's pretty in this MMA place, but it is. It's really nice in here. Okay, you got some big stuff going on. Tell me about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the 50 years in business that this place has been here. So we wanted to take the opportunity with the remodel to invite neighbors, friends, family, people from the neighborhood really to come and check it out, give it a second look or maybe a first look. We're going to have some activities. It'll be hands-on too. You come in, have some fun, learn how to do a few moves, take a mini class. We'll have some food, beverages, and some games and raffles that people could enter. So
somebody's always said, like, I'd love to try out some MMA stuff or kind of see it done or kind of like, see, could I pull this off? It'll be a nice relaxed environment where they can kind of try it.
Yes, this will be a really good environment to just get a taste of it, see what it's about, try something very non-intimidating and in just a fun kind of celebration way. So
You've been doing this a long time, right? I mean, you originally used to work out here, and then you ended up buying the business. I mean, you're an Evergreen Park regular. I mean, this is your spot, right?
yeah, this has been what I've really dedicated myself to since I was 16 years old. So a couple high school sports didn't really take to, and then once I found the martial arts, that was it. I was here probably 6-7 days a week for almost 27 years now.
Well, you know what I love about it is that, I mean, here we got something that's been in this community for 50 years, but I am constantly learning about new things that are sitting right in the middle of Evergreen Park underneath my nose. And I might come in here very soon and let somebody kick my butt or just punch something or anything like I can try this and not get. You're not gonna punch me in the face the first day, right? This is like me doing the exercises. This isn't hand-to-hand combat unless I'm ready for that, right?
Yes, it's when you're ready, but you're gonna come in and the first day you're gonna get hands-on, you're gonna learn, you're gonna train hard, practice the material, and have a good time doing it. But people shouldn't be afraid. You're not going to get, beat up your first day. It could be intimidating. We can make that happen if it needed to happen.
If you kind of want to be beat up, if that's your thing, just let us know.
But no, you're just going to learn, get comfortable, and people get surprised right away that it's just a great group of people, environment, and a good, friendly attitude.
Yeah, I mean, if a wife brings her husband in who's been driving her nuts all week long and slips you a 5, you'll
Yeah, we'll hook her up. We'll let her get a couple body shots in there.
All right, that's good. That's all I want to know. All right, address and what time do they show up on Saturday?
So 3753 West 95th Street, and it'll be Saturday, September 7th from 11 to 2 o'clock. Come in anytime.
Jeff Waldrum, Academy of Self-Defense. This thing is really cool. The place looks great. I'm looking forward to the event on Saturday and many, many more years to come here at this facility that I think Evergreen Park could be really proud of. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Excellent. Thanks for coming by, Chris.
It's the middle of the show song. 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 Chris had nothing to put here, so he put this song. It's the middle of the show song.
What is it now? It's $20 online to get in, $25 at the door, right?
Right.
So until what date can people actually get them in advance? Is it right up to the day before or when?
Day before.
Day before you can go online. How do you go online and get them?
So you can go to mhrmensclub.com.
Okay.
And there's a link to register for the barbecue bash, and you can go on and pay through PayPal and get as many bracelets as you want ahead of time. And then we'll have your name on a list at the door, and you'll come in and just show either your email confirmation or your ID.
Yeah.
And we'll give you your bracelets.
You guys are one of the bigger contests now in Evergreen, and I couldn't really say this last year because I hadn't really made my mark doing this podcast. I didn't really know a lot of people around Evergreen, but now, I have conversations with the mayor. I talk to the guy that's in charge of public relations over there. I talk to the people that organize different events. And the feeling is, because when I bring it up, that this is one of the events in Evergreen Park. I know it's a Holy Redeemer event, and some people might sit there and say, well, that's just their thing. But really, people from all over Evergreen show up, even if they don't have ties to Redeemer. You guys get a really good crowd for this. This is like the festival of the fall. How did it start, and how does it feel to get it to that point?
Well, it started back 7 years ago. Was probably 6 or 7 of us all just bragging as to who cooks the best. And ended up, we were going to just do a little backyard barbecue cook-off. And it turned into so many guys, then not knowing what to do, we decided we were just going to throw a party and do it in the parking lot of the school.
Right. You convinced the priest. You're like, we want to have a party.
Well, he was one of the guys talking trash about his ribs, so it wasn't that hard. When you throw in keywords like fundraiser and parish and parking lot, then you can massage the pastor a little bit
right.
there,
and you get to have a team, and I'm sure you'll win, Father.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay, so this thing starts off really small. Do you feel that? Do you feel that this is now becoming such a big thing? Because I know that when I was going over some of the events that were going on in Evergreen, because we've been to a lot of different things, okay? Where, everything from the back to school bash that's over at Central to Day in the Park to the 4th of July parade and bouncing around. And I talked to all the different people that organize these events. And I'll say, and over the summer, I was like, next thing is the barbecue bash. And people will say, yeah, that's the next big thing. That's the next big thing with the big crowd and the biggest gathering going on in Evergreen Park. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment that a bunch of guys who basically were probably having a few too many one night and got into an argument about over whose ribs were better have now turned this into such an event.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, the first year, I think we estimated about 225, 250 people showed up. Last year, with Mr. Blotto headlining, I think we were pushing 750, 800.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mr. Blotto was good.
Yeah, so, I mean, in that first year, we did it. We put it together on 6 weeks' notice. It was the Saturday of Columbus Day weekend, so we were competing with, high school homecomings. We were competing with anybody.
People going out of town.
People going out of town for Columbus Day weekend, that kind of stuff. So I think a combination of just people hearing more about it, are getting better at throwing a hell of a party and putting on a good event and learning from each year. Each year we learn something new. And then being able to plant it now on this weekend after Labor Day is, for many years after the first one, we were moving it back into earlier in, October or late September, but we were competing with a lot of area homecomings that we didn't realize and stuff like that. So putting it the weekend we have it and keeping it parked on that day, this will be, I think, the third year we're on the Saturday after Labor Day.
This is the day to do it.
It really helps.
Yeah, definitely.
It really helps.
The guy who really likes that bring your own alcohol policy is a guy who does a podcast with me by the name of Father Paul Guzman. He does the Me and the Priest. The first year he was there, he was walking around with 2 giant growlers of beer.
That's
he was
when
just
I
walking
first
around
met
with craft
him.
beer and growlers.
The priest with the beer growlers.
Right, that was the first time I really met him because
Yeah.
my parents are holy rollers. Like they're at church like almost every day. They're always
Every
involved.
church. They go to
so
every
like
church.
the moment, they're at every church on the south
They don't
side.
belong to one
they go to
church.
St. Rita, and then the next day they're in Martyrs, and the next day they're at the Redeemer. So they know all the priests and everything.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like I'm standing there, and all of a sudden he's standing in my tent, and I'm like, who's this priest
And he's wearing his robe
drinking from
and-
growlers? And he's like, here, man, what do you like? I'm like, I like IPAs, and he just pours it right out of a growler for me. I'm like, I'm gonna dig this guy. He's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear you're trying to recruit him to be a judge this year.
He's going to be a judge this year. It'll be the first
He's not
year
aware
for
of
him.
that. Did you know that? He didn't know he was going to be a judge this
Is that
year.
right?
No, he didn't
I
know.
have
he was
that
gonna
on
be a judge.
higher
'Cause
authority.
He was he told me that he was going to be in my tent, and he's very concerned about this. He's supposed to bless my ribs so I can win this thing.
Well, he'll
That's
be
the whole
assigned
thing.
number
He's going
6.
to bless my ribs so I win this year.
Yeah, he'll be assigned number 6 when we pass out the judges' numbers.
The world is fast and busy. Sometimes you got to get down to your speed. And the place to lower your speed and relax in Evergreen Park is at the Red Palm. Maybe your speed is wine on a Wednesday with your friends for Wine Down Wednesday. Maybe turtle races and Queen of Hearts on Thursday nights is more your speed. Each and every night, though, at the Red Palm, you get a little island attitude at a local latitude. When you walk into the Red Palm, it's like walking into an island bar, but right in Evergreen Park, with a menu like no other created by Chef Mario and cooked in a beautiful wood fire oven. Unique taste, comfort foods, and honestly, the best wings you're gonna find anywhere. Have a tropical drink, a craft beer, a glass of wine, or share a bucket of lights with your friends. Watch the game on one of the many flat screen TVs over the top of their bar or out on the patio. Get out this summer. The Red Palm at 3020 West 95th Street. Island attitude, local latitude. I'm at Central Middle School's Back to School Bash. I got 7th graders here. So like, you're cool enough that you're not a 6th grader, but you're not cool enough to be an 8th grader. Is that right?
Yeah, that's totally right.
Are you excited about school?
Not really.
But wait, they just had a bash. Shouldn't you be excited?
No.
No? You're not excited? You're not excited?
No!
But there's a bash going on. Like, doesn't this make it easier for you to go back to school?
Yeah, but like classes and stuff are boring.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay. What's the best thing about the 7th grade?
Nothing. I like 6th grade better.
It's the boys, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not the boys?
All the boys like ugly.
You heard it here first on the EP podcast.
They're like really snobby too.
They're snobby and ugly? That's a winning combination. Girls, good luck in school this year. I hope you make it to the 8th grade.
Thank you so much. Me too. Thank you.
Just a reminder for everybody, September the 20th, starting at 3 p.m., 7 breweries in 7 hours on the Ileana Brew Bus, going from one end to the other end, a complete tour of the Dixie Highway Brewery Trail. The only way you can get seats by listening to this show or any of the other shows on the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network. And the only way to register to get a chance to win those seats is to subscribe to the show. Then rate and comment on the show so we can see the rating. We can see that you did that. And then share the show on social media somewhere. We'll get notifications when you're doing those things. If for some reason your login for the podcast player is different from your social media account, because that's how we're going to contact you to tell you if you won, you might want to send us a message with like a picture or something that tells us, hey, that comment on that site, that came from me. Want to make sure everybody who did all these things is actually registered so we can make sure you make it on the bus. We're going to start filling that bus as early as next week. We want to give people time, so go out and do those things. Listen, subscribe, share, rate, and comment on the show. Get on the Ileana Brew Bus and the Dixie Highway Brewery Trail. Father Paul's here, and Father, we do this show. We do me and the priest. I believe us to be good friends, right? We're close, right? You're getting close so that everybody can hear you.
Absolutely.
All right, good. I want to make sure that these guys hear it too, because you're going to be in my tent.
Team
and
Lanuti.
my intention was that you were going to be blessing ribs for me.
Yeah.
And because I figured I needed the Lord's help to finally
You're going to need
win this.
something.
I'm going to need some help.
Yeah,
okay?
you're going to need something.
He's got a red hat. I don't. These guys want you judging. So, I mean, like, if you're going to judge, like, is he restricted from hanging out in my tent or anything
Not at
like
all.
that? No.
Not at all.
Okay. Am I going to get in trouble if for some reason I present my ribs in the sign of a cross?
You're disqualified.
No. No.
Automatic.
Whatever you think.
Just so he knows they're mine?
And, yeah.
Just ribs in a box.
then you need an
know?
exorcism
Ribs in a
after
box.
All right.
Your ribs are unclean.
Yeah, you missed this last year. You were
Cross would probably be a better shape than what you put him in
probably,
last year.
Probably better than what it was. You missed this last year. You
I
were
was
in
in the
Syria.
sandbox,
Yeah, you were in
yeah.
the sandbox having missile shot over your
Yeah, it was fun.
Are you excited about getting back to this? Because you were in it a few years ago. I remember you were walking around with 2 giant jugs of beer in your hand. So, I mean, this is like
It's
your
the only way
party.
to walk around. But I don't know if I can do that as a judge now. Can't walk around.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
encouraged as a judge.
It's encouraged.
Oh, it's encouraged. All right, well, all right.
They're going to tell you
I stand
anything.
corrected.
They're going to tell you anything right now because they want you to judge. Okay, you and I will work out how we'll figure
right,
out
yeah,
that
we'll figure
you know
it out.
whose ribs are. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. And you want to know which ones are Kerwin's too, because I don't want you voting for him. Make sure he gets
I'll put those in my pocket.
Make sure he gets a 6. Okay.
Put those in my pocket. Yeah, but the pastor's going to be in there too, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing.
His are always the ones with a slice of white bread and that are undercooked. So you can always tell Father
I'll keep
how.
that in mind.
Yeah, he's easy to spot. But geez, Lanuti's really getting serious about this now. He's bribing judges. He's marking the cards. Like he's really tired of just losing every year.
Anything I can do.
Offer's
Anything I can
tough.
do.
I know.
Anything, yeah, I know. Anything I can do.
Prayers, everything.
I just want a sticker. That's all I want. I just want something.
He's
That's
waited
all
so
I
long.
want.
They'll bronze your ribs.
That's all I want.
One more year won't
every
hurt,
year I
you
tell
know?
everybody in my tent, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And then when I lose, they all look at me like I died. And I'm like, I'm fine.
You did
Like, here's the
die
thing.
inside.
I don't care if it's because of it's the shame of my mother looking at me going, Christopher, how did you not win? You're not letting me down. You're letting my mother down. I just want you guys to know that.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
the guilt card? Was that the guilt card? I thought I saw that come out.
Doesn't matter. Who does your father let down when he can't get out of the Nibblers competition?
Good. I'm glad you're making fun of him because I want him to compete again.
He's
so
got to. I
just-
heard you
just
say
talk some
he's
trash.
not doing it. He's
Talk some
taking
trash.
his ball and
Get him in there. Talk
forget
some
it.
trash. Yeah, he's got to go.
You ask him if he wants me to cook for him this year. He can submit mine. I'll let him take mine. And
What's
see
funny
how
was he
does.
said, I think he's going to cook now because he sat there and he told my mother that he wasn't going to cook. And she goes, oh, good, because I got some things I got to do that day. And then we'll just get to the rib competition late. And he goes, you don't know if I'm cooking or not.
I could change my mind.
He might have to cook it's probably worth $20 in cooking, so he doesn't have to go shopping
Right.
that day.
Well, I mean, more guys talk all year long about what
the
they're going to
nibblers.
make for their nibblers,
nibblers,
and how
yeah.
they're going to adjust their
Right.
rubs or their sauces or their techniques.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
kinda
become
what it is. Yeah.
something that everybody's into.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got to keep doing it.
I think he'll keep doing it. If he doesn't do it, I'll do something. What the heck? I just want to be part of the
Yeah,
competition.
one more
know
thing
that
for you to
from-
lose. That's good. Yeah, keep it up.
Man, oh man.
Oh, he's throwing down the
Yeah,
gauntlet.
I know he is.
The
All right,
gauntlet's
we're going to
down.
get these guys out of here. Thank you very much. We got
Thanks,
Terry
Chris.
Goggin, Mike Kerwin.
Thanks,
Thank you so
guys.
much. The MHR BBQ Bash on the 7th, and we will be there. Make sure that you stop by.
Another show isn't wrapped up. Another show's in the books. Another show isn't wrapped up. And then by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. And we'll see you next week. And the nude is basement. And the nude is Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up, and it's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up, and by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. Lanutis Basement broadcast basement. Lanutis Basement, the broad basement. Slancha.
Does your financial advisor actually take time to listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation changes? Why worry about those things when Tom Walsh is nearby? He's your local Edward Jones financial advisor. He works with you, focusing on what's important to you. He uses an established process to create personalized financial strategy, and he partners with you to help your strategy stay on track. Listen, families in South Chicagoland have been benefiting from Tom's get-to-know-you approach and do the right thing values for over 18 years. Contact my close personal friend and also a fellow Brother Rice alumni, Tom Walsh. He's your local Edward Jones advisor, located in Mount Greenwood, right outside of the EP at 111th and Kedzie. Member SIPC. All right.
Now,
Go ahead.
can I do a question? A shout out.
A shout out?
You can edit it out if you want
Sure,
to.
go ahead. You know what it
The
is?
last
Your
2
show,
years, there is somebody who cooks there that is a member of the crew of Bacchus in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I see your bags. I see your Bacchus beads. I see all your Bacchus stuff. Contact the podcast.
Oh, so this is something that's like, it means that you were like part of something special in New Orleans? Like
They
this
belong
is like,
to the crew of Bacchus,
I don't know
Mardi
what
Gras
that
crew.
means.
Okay.
Nobody on the south
Chris,
side knows what that means.
oh my God. Okay,
Nobody
all
knows
right.
what the hell you're talking about.
You
crazy
you gotta
redneck
be a
bayou
big wig
girl.
to belong to Bacchus.
This is like I just watched the documentary on the World War II, and she's like the French Revolution.
Yeah. John has a long mustache.
Yeah.
Now they know to attack, Hannah.
Right.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Contact the podcast.
The eagle has landed.
Bacchus.
The eagle has
Bacchus
landed.
is ready for
Bacchus.
beats.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com.